A single shout echoed through the sterile hospital corridor, stopping every nurse in their tracks. But before we dive in, tell us in the comments where you're watching from, what state or city. We love connecting with our viewers. It was late afternoon at George Washington University Hospital in Washington, D.C., a large urban medical center filled with the sharp scent of antiseptic and a sense of urgency. White walls and fluorescent lights lined the maze-like hallways with monitors beeping from patient rooms. Nurses in blue scrubs rushed by, their sneakers squeaking on polished floors, while doctors in white coats studied charts with serious looks. The hospital was a busy place where life and death decisions happened every hour, and today was no different. Tension was about to explode. Dr. Ethan Carter stood by the pharmacy door, arms crossed, his blue scrubs wrinkled after a 12-hour shift. At 38, Ethan was a calm, seasoned ER doctor known for handling any crisis, from car crashes to sick kids. His brown hair was tousled, and a stethoscope hung around his neck, a symbol of his dedication. But today, his hazel eyes burned with quiet anger as he watched the approaching group. Donald Trump, the 47th president, strode confidently down the hall. His navy suit was perfect, his red tie striking against a crisp white shirt, and an American flag pin shone on his lapel. His golden hair swept back in its trademark style. The harsh lights above flickered as Trump spoke animatedly to his small group. Secret Service agents in dark suits flanked him, their earpieces buzzing with updates while a nervous aide in a gray blazer struggled to keep up, clutching a briefing folder. Hospital Administrator Dr. Margaret Hensley walked beside him, her heels clicking as she forced a professional smile amid the chaos. Trump's booming voice cut through the hospital noise like a foghorn. This place, beautiful, just beautiful. We're doing great things for hospitals, believe me. My new bill, the big beautiful bill, it's a game changer. We're saving Medicaid, making it better for real Americans. Turning to Dr. Hensley, he pointed a finger. You're going to love what we're doing, Margaret. Tremendous stuff. She nodded tightly, smiling. We're honored to have you here, Mr. President. Our staff is eager to discuss. Dr. Hensley's voice stayed polite, but her eyes flickered toward Ethan, a silent plea for calm. Behind Ethan stood three colleagues, a mix of curiosity and worry on their faces. Dr. Rachel Patel, a pediatric specialist with sharp brown eyes, nervously adjusted her white coat, clutching a clipboard. Dr. James Holloway, a steady-handed surgeon, folded his hands and stared intently at Trump. Nurse Maria Gonzalez, a tough ER veteran, shifted her weight, her dark hair pulled into a tight bun. They'd all been pulled from their work moments ago, told about the president's visit, but nothing prepared them for this. Trump stopped in front of Ethan, narrowing his blue eyes. You're the head guy here, right? Ethan Carter, I hear. You're one of the best. That's what I like. Only the best for America. He clapped sharply. So, Doc, let's talk. My bill's saving billions, cutting waste, kicking illegal aliens off Medicaid, making sure people like you get what you need. It's a win-win. Ethan uncrossed his arms, hands on hips, meeting Trump's gaze with steady, controlled anger. Mr. President, I appreciate the intent, but your bill's causing harm. Cutting funding to rural hospitals and pushing costs to states isn't a win. It's a disaster. We're stretched thin here, and it's worse in rural areas. Patients are suffering. The corridor went quiet except for a distant heart monitor beep. Trump's smile faltered briefly, then returned wider and defiant. Fake news, Doc. You've been listening to the radical left. I've got the numbers, billions saved. Efficiency like you've never seen, Trump said confidently. Elon's Department of Government Efficiency is on it. Best people in the world. Turning to the small group of staff, he raised both hands like he was at a rally. Tell him, folks. Tell him how great this is. Dr. Patel stepped forward, calm but firm. Sir, I work with children every day. Since your term began, funding for rural health care has dropped significantly. My patients, kids with asthma, diabetes, are waiting weeks for specialists because clinics are closing. This isn't politics, it's about saving lives. Trump waved her off. Details. We'll fix it with private investment. Best doctors, best hospitals. You'll see, it's going to be fantastic. He jabbed a finger at Ethan. Get me a report by tomorrow. We're streamlining this place to be the best in the country. Ethan clenched his fists but stayed calm. With respect, Mr. President, a report won't change the reality. Just last week, I had to tell a mother we couldn't admit her son because our pediatric ICU is understaffed. He had to be airlifted to Baltimore and they almost didn't make it in time. That's not efficiency. That's failure. The words hung heavy in the air. Trump's expression darkened, his lips pressing into a thin line. You're a good doctor, Ethan, I can see that. But you don't see the big picture, I do. I'm saving this country from bureaucrats, from waste, from people who don't belong here. You'll thank me later, believe me. Before Ethan could reply, a commotion broke out at the far end of the corridor. Protesters had gathered outside the hospital's entrance, their chants filtering through the glass doors. Health care for all. No cuts, no compromise. Signs waved. Some opposing Trump's bill, others accusing him of putting profits over people. Secret Service agents shifted nervously, one speaking quietly into an earpiece, but Trump seemed unfazed. Look at that, he said with a smirk, gesturing to the windows. They don't get it either, but they'll see, everyone will. Turning to Dr. Hensley, his tone sharp and commanding, he said, Margaret, let's move on. I want to see the new wing. Heard it's state-of-the-art. We're doing great things here. As Trump and his group moved down the hall, Ethan exchanged a look with his colleagues, Rachel's eyes wide with frustration, James shaking his head silently, and Maria muttering under her breath, he doesn't care. The weight of the encounter hung over them like a storm cloud, but there was no time to linger. A nurse called from the ER. Another patient needed urgent care. Hours later, as the sun set and the hospital settled into night, Ethan sat alone, in the break room, a cold cup of coffee in hand. The day's events replayed in his mind, the president's bold claims, the harsh reality of their underfunded wards, the protesters outside. He opened his laptop and began drafting a letter to Congress, outlining the hospital's struggles and the real impact of the new bill. It was a long shot, but he couldn't stay silent. Meanwhile, Trump relaxed in the back of his armored SUV, scrolling through his phone as they drove away. Turning to his advisor, he dictated a post for X. Fantastic visit to GW Hospital today. Great doctors, great staff. We're making health care better than ever with my one big, beautiful bill. MAGA. The advisor quickly typed and posted the E message, which instantly went live and racked up thousands of likes and retweets from supporters, while critics flooded the replies with accusations of neglect and profiteering. Back at the hospital, Rachel and Maria joined Ethan in the break room, their faces tired but determined. What now? Rachel asked quietly. Ethan looked up from his laptop, his expression steady. We keep fighting, he said simply. For our patients, for our communities. He may not listen, but someone will. The clash at George Washington University Hospital was just one moment in a bigger battle, one that would play out in hospital halls, on social media, and in Congress. For Ethan and his team, it was a reminder of why they kept going, even when the odds felt impossible. We'd love to hear what you think about this healthcare showdown. Share your thoughts below.